Hello, everyone. So we are back. It has been a few weeks, I believe like 3 or 4. The last live show we did was end of December. And it's exciting because what we're going to be talking about today, I don't know of anyone else I've looked in the financial industry that's about to try doing what we're doing. So basically, I'm going to be explaining to you what it is that we're going to do. What is this community? Why are we doing it? And I'm going to need your guys' help because we do not know what we're doing. We are not experts, but here's the philosophy. And I'm going to hop right in. And for those of you that are with us live, awesome. Thank you guys for being here. For those that are watching this recorded, it's obviously not going to be live. So if you're doing Q&A, you can always email me later or Lucas later and say, hey, I had an idea for this. Some of you will say, hey, the chat was closed because it's no longer live. So we're going to hop right in. Before we do, Lucas, for those of you who don't know, Financial Weapon, that is his nickname here. It's good to see all of you guys, Russ, Heidi, Laura, and Shane, now with Brandon and Caleb. It's fun because a lot of you guys are clients here. A lot of you guys are just listening. A lot of you guys are watching the different content. This new Root Collective, which once again, I'll be explaining in just a second, I hope truly is the biggest thing that's ever hit the financial industry. And I do not say that lightly. And some people are like, okay, like relax. Like, what about when a mutual fund came out? I'm like, bigger than that. So we're talking about it today. Lucas, did you do anything for the holidays before we get into the fun?
Yeah, I was international. So went to Costa Rica for the first time. It was awesome. Very American friendly over there. So you can use USD everywhere, which is super nice. But yeah, got to experience the tropics. Leaving Florida for Costa Rica is a little bit like going from San Diego to Tijuana, So, just fast forwarded 6 months in the weather. It was awesome.
Nice.
All right, how was the Arsenal game?
Thank you for asking. Well, first of all, I have to ask, like, when you go out to dinner in Costa Rica, is it like just $10 for like the best meal ever? That's what I hear down there, or like, what's the vibe?
Well, if you don't want food poisoning guaranteed, you don't leave the resort. So
Oh, okay.
it's actually because of their tourism taxes. It's actually pretty similar. But if you pay with cash, everything's about 25% cheaper than here.
Okay. So if any of you guys have been to Costa Rica or have any other, like, literally, this is what I'm going to be discussing today. I didn't mean to integrate it this intentionally, guys, so you guys can make fun of me later. But literally, in this new collective that I'm going to be going over, I promise, in detail, we're going to be like asking you guys to share. So basically, this is what I'm going to be going over today. This is the new Root Collective. So I know it's small, but I'm going to make it big. There are going to be sections where all of you can communicate. So if you want to talk about where you just recently traveled and your best tip, we're going to do announcements of what's happening at Root. We want your best like recreational employment stories. So basically, hey, when are you planning to retire? What are tips that you think other people should like? I wish I created a superhero account earlier. Examples of the cauliflower or how you're finding purpose or general investing things. So basically, this is going to be a community, which is literally what this is. We're calling it the Root Collective. And so this is going to be hopefully the hub for all of you guys, where my dream, just like we all have a limited amount of things that we, bookmark. I was going to say benchmark, but bookmark. I want this to be one of those right up there where you're like, yep, I'm part of the community. And it really feels like you guys get not just the best tips, but you're like, wow, I feel like I'm part of something. So, sorry, real quick on the Arsenal game. The Arsenal game was awesome. We won 1-0. We spent, I'm just weird. You guys will probably know by now, but I should have thought about this more. And I've been to a few live games before, but I'm at the game, Lucas. I missed commentators. I know that's weird, but I'm at the game and the energy's awesome. But I'm like, look, I kind of miss the commentators, and they actually like help me stay tuned in. So at one point throughout the game, for those who don't know, I have like a pelvic floor issue. So I have to go to the bathroom often because of this whole story I'll tell you guys later. But I went to the bathroom during the game. And when you're in, I don't know what it's called, but the area where you can go get beers and hot chocolate and all that stuff, the game is on. So the game is on, and the commentators, I can hear them because it's being played right there. And I get the energy from the game behind me. So I'm like, I think I'm the first person on planet Earth who wants to go to a game, hear the energy from the game, get the commentators, but not go sit at my seat. So we won 1-0. It was a fun game, and we were sick for the rest of the trip, which sucked. But I did go. So I went to Roe, ROE, which is a part of what you told me, Lucas, but it was not the main one. The concourse is what Jake YT7. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So we will have to do a root retreat where we bring all, by the way, part of the community. My future, like ideally, guys, this thing is big enough where all of us are in it and we can do like root retreats and we all go visit Lucas in Florida at his home and we just show up randomly. He doesn't even know. And we get to go do fun things. And we want to host all of you guys in San Diego and make this like an epic thing. So with that being said, I'm going to explain why we're doing this. And then are you calling Ari the Borg Queen? I should know what that means, Steve, but I have no idea. I'm off on a lot of this. Let me just address some of you guys coming through. Hello from Tennessee. Loving all the YouTube content and the Academy. Awesome. What's up, Jeff? Jeff, I got your email. I'm going to address it today. Bigger than when compounding interest was invented. Yeah, I get. Don't people say, Lucas, compounding is like the eighth, eighth.
That's Albert Einstein quote.
Yeah, exactly. Like the eighth wonder of the world. This might be the ninth. Laura, Shane, what's up? Do I go 100% stocks if I have a healthy pension? I mean, it depends your comfort. We'll talk about that. See, like, guys, this is a perfect example. Eddie, I'd want you to ask this question. And it's one thing for Lucas and I to say, oh, yeah, 100% you should. But like, look, we're not retiring tomorrow. So it's going to feel different if you guys answer to each other and be like, look, I have a pension. This advisor told me to go 100% stocks, but like, look, you're not going to sleep well at night if you have that. So like, don't really do that unless it turns out you've retired for 2 years and then you do it. And you'll be like, whoa, that like makes a big difference in my life. So yeah, I want you guys to, of course, hear it from us, but we also want you to be able to talk to one another. Yeah. Are we all root E's? Yeah, I'm okay with that. We're going to need to come up with like, okay, what are the best, I don't know what we call it. I don't like the word members. In the same way, I don't like the word fans. Like, I'm not an Arsenal fan. Like, a fan is like I'm a supporter. I support the team, whether win or fan is like, I don't know. I just don't like that word. What do you think, Lucas?
Fan makes it sound like, you blow in when things are going well, not like you're always there. Apparently it's a Star Trek reference, the whole Borg collective. I don't know.
Ooh, okay. See, I'm out of the loop, but Steve just helped us out. And I should know that. What's up from San Diego? Hey, Ari, nice surf pics. Okay, guys, you'll laugh at this. I'll show you guys this later if you guys want. But basically, all the fires and stuff, I'm okay. We got crazy lucky. The only reason my parents' house did not burn down is because a month ago, there was a fire that burned. And so this current fire could not basically expand past that and burn my parents' house, which is like so lucky. So basically, I didn't go surfing, but we went to Palm Springs. I went to a wave pool, which is pretty funny. The Roots. What's up, Maritza from Washington, D.C.? Okay, guys. So about 100 of you guys are here, and then hopefully thousands of you guys watch because this is the biggest thing that I've been working on for about 6 months. And once again, we're going to rely on your feedback. So Lucas is going to be dropping questions. If you guys don't mind answering this, like all of these questions, if you're driving, don't answer them. But if you have the ability to answer these, and even if you have a thought later, I want it. There's no bothering Lucas and I because this is going to be up to you. So the first question, I'm going to explain and then I'm going to put out a question actually. So why are we doing this? A lot of you guys have a plan to retire in your head. And then you go, I need some more data to back this up. I watch the videos. It's really helpful. I want this software tool. So most of you guys on this call are in the Academy, whether it be mine or James's. You have the software and you get to hear from us and our insight. So you do that and you go, that's good. And then a lot of you go, I also want to work with Root, but I don't have $2 million. So what do I do? Well, our goal is not for the minimum to be $2 million. We want to decrease that when we have advisors to service you all. Now, that's part of what we're trying to build here so that no matter what, we can help people. It was never our intention to be like, we're only going to help people with $2 million. We're going to have a division for people from 10 to 100 million, from 1 to 5 to whatever I just said that, 10 million, from 500 to a million. Like, we want to be able to help everyone and have a system that financially rewards us and you guys. So it's a win-win. Now, there's a lot of you in the middle there where you're like, look, I don't have 2 million. I'm in the Academy. I still watch your videos, but it's not enough. And so Lucas and I are talking. We're like, look, there's got to be a better way. What if we could all communicate with each other? What if I could go in there, do a case study with you, Peta, Luisa, Maritza, Kent, and be like, hey guys, come on the show live, just like we're doing with Lucas here. And let's like look at your stuff and let's see if other people can learn from it. And then, oh, by the way, they had a good question, hop right in the show immediately. So it's almost like we want to create a TV show that's live. And so this is going to be exclusive content. Number one, the weekly show that I'm doing right now, it's going to be in this community. James is going to have a show. We're going to have a show from other members of Root. So we have one advisor, Chelsea. Chelsea's come on this live show previously. She's working with our clients largely 10 million plus, and she's all into travel. She's very clear. She's like, I don't want children. I want to travel. I want to scuba dive. She is really cool. I would want her to have her own show so you guys can come and be like, what do people who have like $50 million do? And where do they travel? And let me learn from that. I want to bring on my dentist because my dentist is really cool. And I want you guys to hear from him and be like, oh, so like that's what it should be like going to the dentist, and like not boring stuff, but like I want all of you guys, like Michael, you're a perfect example. Michael's like, I'm in the academy, but I don't have 2 million yet. And Rivera, can you do a case study on me? Guys, everyone wants a case study on them. And the last thing we want to do is be like, yeah, here's like a cookie cutter case study. Like we want to spend time and show you guys, here's how we do it. Well, we want to get to everyone. I don't know. Depends like how we do this. But what do you guys want to see? Because as we see it right now, what we're seeing is number one, we all can communicate. This is a new place. Call it a Facebook group, call it whatever you want. You can go in and you can communicate with us. So James will be active in here. I will be active in here. Go put in your productivity tips. Go make friends. Go set goals with each other. There are challenges that you can literally, we're going to have meetups. Go in here. This is the weekly live show with me. It's almost like, and if you miss it, like TiVo it. See if you guys got that reference. Lucas, do you remember TiVo?
It's been a minute.
Okay. I feel like is like the oldest thing about me. I just remember like you miss it, it's like TiVo it. So this is where we're going to have weekly shows, community. There will be like a leaderboard for all of you guys to be like, hey, who's a top member? Who's going in here? We're going to have gifts and stuff. And I have my Root suitcase over here because we're doing a retreat in like a month. Like we're going to make this cool. There's going to be things where it's like, hey, if you want to go shop at this store, you get a discount, or go stay at this hotel, you get a discount. We don't really know. We want this to be a community, number one. And then let me see here. Jake, can you tell us what you want to present first? You already mentioned some boards and videos. Anything else? Yeah, so basically, I want the show to go to the next level. So think about it like you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Amazon Prime. Right now, what I do is for these shows, yes, there will be a charge for the collective site. Now, I'm not even confident if we are going to make money. What I'm confident of is we want this to be a gigantic community. And so it's going to start at $20 a month, where for $20 a month, you are a Root fan, member, whatever we want to call it. It might lose us money because we want to put so much money into the show. So I'm going to have my own show. I'm going to have a guest on the show. I don't know if the reality is if I have to pay guests to come on the show. I do not know if we're like, I'm going to want, as this is just compliance stuff. Let's assume some of you guys go in there and you're saying stuff you shouldn't be saying. I'm not saying you're going to do that. Well, we're going to need someone moderating this and kicking people out that aren't doing the right thing. So do I need a full-time community moderator? I don't know. But we want to start at $20 a month. In 3 months or so, we're going to like survey all of you and be like, hey, what do you like? Should we do more of this? Should we do less of this? And then we're probably going to update that, maybe $50 a month. We don't know. But we want this to be, if you're a Root client, you don't pay anything. You're just in here. And because Root clients, though, and Michael's like, I can do that. Most people can do $20 a month. And if you can't, we're going to have like a scholarship system to be like, tell us why you can't. So you want to work at Root in the future, but you don't have $20 a month to do to that. Okay, like we'll work something out. So the point here is if you're a Root client, because I talked to a lot of you, Laura and Shane, I'll pick on you guys. You're now working with Caleb and Brandon. What's it like working with them? You get to go into and like tell everyone, not from us and totally unbiased. You go in and say, hey guys, here's what it's like working with Root. It feels different because of this and this and this and on and on. So clients will be in there. Listeners will be in there. Future Root hires will be in there. No. So Jake, once again, it's not perfect. You said, I think $20 a month might be a little steep. Okay. I know, Jake, you just retired. You don't need to be in here. This is not a requirement. This is something that I hope you view as a Netflix, Apple, Hulu, another subscription that you go, look, I love it because I really feel like I get to be a part of it. We might be wrong, Jake. Like, let's assume everyone's like, you're right, $20 a month is too much. I don't see the value. Well, great. We have to go, is it worth us doing it? Maybe we go, no, it's absolutely like we're putting too much time and energy and there's only 50 members. So business wise, it doesn't make sense. Instead, we should be doing something else. Like, we want to do this because no one else in the industry, there's not another company doing this. So we're going to try it. And I think it could be a big success. If you're in the academy, awesome. But we want this to be a way. So no matter where you're at in your stage of life, you can come in here. So with that being said, we want to hear, what do you want to see in there? I love the feedback. I don't care how transparent it is. Kent, I'm going to pick on you. He goes, great to be a community, horrible to be another source of being monetized. So I would go to you, Kent, because you guys know I'm transparent. And okay, I'll go, Kent, okay, let's have my employees work for free. Okay, well, the community just won't work well. You guys suggest staying away from trying to be the next provider of advertising for the sake of affiliate dollars. Should be novel. Kent, that's great. I love it. We could make it free. Absolutely. And it might turn out like you could be right, Kent. Like it turns out people don't join because they don't want to spend $20 a month. I didn't know people wanted access to the software. And now thousands of you guys are in there. And if I made it free, we would not be able to offer it. So this is something we're trying out. I think you should do Jeff's strategy. Just take it out of your wife's vacation fund. No. Michael, if it helps our financial future, it may be worth it. Yes, my hope is it helps your future, but I also hope it's just entertaining. And so a lot of people are in retirement and they're like, well, so yeah, I golf and yeah, I hang out with friends and my family. But like, imagine at all time you can go in there and you can like be like, wow, I have a community. I've met other people like me. I'm going to meet up with them. There's actual entertainment where like you're seeing James on a weekly basis beyond what you see in the YouTube videos. So Papster says here, there's a need for information for those of us who are self-managing. This could be great. That's my goal right there. If you're self-managing your money and you're like, hey, like I didn't even know about this guardrails thing and how you execute it. Like, great, talk to each other and see what it's like. And then have us come in and address that. And like, we want this to be something that's really interesting. Ken says, I'm saying I'd rather pay a subscription more than getting something lower cost that is supplemented by advertising. Great. Like, Ken, I have no intent to advertise in there other than Root. And not there's a ton of people that want to work with Root that I'm like, don't. Like, all your money's in an active 401k. Other people will be like, no, it makes a lot of sense. Like, here's when it makes sense. So Papster and all others of you guys say, hey, this Income Lab and Holista Plan, and guys, there's a million different softwares out there. These different softwares, they're awesome, but they are really easy to screw up. And so this is almost like if you want another job to become an advisor, it's like, hey, I could give you the newest tool for surgery, but if you don't know the basics of why you need to do this surgery, it's like almost like we're trying to protect you in a weird way. Now, also, these are other costs that us as business owners go, look, where's the point of hassle? Like, do we give everyone every software imaginable? Like, but once again, guys, I want this. I'd like access to this. I want you to not do what Kent is saying. I want you, yada, yada. We are starting with something. We're seeing how it goes. Steve, a 1 month free trial, then charge if we see the value. Not a bad idea. We're not going to start with that. We have spent a lot of time and energy, more than money so far, to just get this set up. And we want to see how this works. Scott, I'd like some questions answered that I have about the software. Scott, guess what? You don't think we want a section in there? We're going to call it the Scott section, Scott. It's going to be in there. And look at this. There's a section for the academies. So Scott, you're going to go drop your question in. Hey guys, anyone else struggling with how I should think about this? And then boom, right off the bat, you guys get to communicate. So guys, you don't like, who doesn't want free access? Who doesn't want free food if you see the value? That's the cool thing about YouTube. And as I view it, YouTube is like, go watch our video, see if it resonates. If it does, awesome. And if you want more, this is another option. By no means do any of you have to do it. If we never started this, I don't think many of you guys would get angry. I think you'd be like, look, I don't really know the difference because it didn't exist, but we want this to be something special. So anything else, guys, then Lucas, I'll go to you if you have any thoughts you want to add on here. But guys, anything else that right off the bat, outside of community, being able to talk to each other, and exclusive content that you go, I'd really like to see this. Drop it in the comments now. I'll let you guys think for a little bit. Lucas, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the value that you guys got to really recognize is that when you're in a community and you're regularly engaging, and we have live shows every single week, and you're just seeing the same concepts over and over again and seeing them get implemented, and like, what do those numbers actually look like? A big value of this is the educational portion over time. So that way, if one day you do want to become a Root client, or you want to book a power planning meeting, or you want to work at Root, or you want to help your mom who's trying to retire and try to help them out, you have a means to do that, and you have a means to see what other people are doing, rather than the cesspool that we see a lot just on the broad internet, right? Because then you get everything. This is an easy way to kind of filter a lot of that out. And that is the point. If you want free content, I wouldn't say that we have any shortage of free content available, right? That's how I learned a lot of what I know. So I know that you guys can go and get the same value out of it that I did.
Perfect. Like, guys, we have, I don't even know, I want to say thousands of hours, maybe it's hundreds, but like, go to YouTube if you want to learn something. That's what I would say. Like, that's the education. This is going to be education. This I would call like entertainment with education, where it's like you're going in here to be a part of what we're trying to do here. And like, many of you are asking questions like, hey, what are the upper and lower guardrails using the right capital strategy and how to think about it? Well, guys, sometimes what I'll do with a client is be like, guardrails, yeah, we're going to do that on Excel. And they're like, what do you mean? There's a guardrails button right here. They go, yeah, but it's just not perfect. It doesn't apply to you. So like the reality is we got to build it on our own. And they're like, why? The button's right there. I'm like, if you go to ask a risk tolerance questionnaire and you say you're an 8 out of 10, this is my favorite story. Some of you already know it, but someone was like, hey, Ari, so like I want to work with you guys. I think, there's a good fit, but you like didn't ask me my risk tolerance. And it's kind of like a red flag. So like, and then they kind of paused and I was like, okay, I'll do it right now. What are you? And they're like, I'm an 8 out of 10. And I'm like, spouse, what are you? They're like, I'm a 2 out of 10. I'm like, okay, let's imagine markets around 40% right now. What do you think your risk tolerance would be? And they'd be like, oh, I'd be like a 3. And the other one's like, I'd be like a -6. I'm like, well, that's why I don't love that question, because your answer is going to change based on what's going on. It's like me saying, what's your risk tolerance? You're like, I'm a 2. And then I punch you in the face. You're like, I'm a 9. I'm in pain. So like, there's risk tolerance, which is something we talk about, and then risk capacity, which is like, if you took all the emotion away, what could your portfolio support? And so financial planning goes beyond software. Software is great. Michael, I know you have questions. Scott, the section I'm going to rename as the Scott 2 section, but we want this like MT Iffy says here, Scott, the Right Capital YouTube channel has deep dives into the software. It's geared towards advisors, but answers a lot of my questions. Guys, go watch, like Right Capital has a YouTube channel, but it's just software input. If you guys want just software, there's cheaper software than the one we have. We just think the one we use is good, but it's me saying, hey guys, when you go through this, don't click this button. I know it says click that button. Don't click that button. Like, trust me, you're not going to want to use that button. And then you're like, oh, I just didn't know. Going off other things here, and Lucas, if you see anything, feel free to come in. Yeah, a lot of you guys are like, I'd really like to see info on setting up my numbers in the software. That's what the Academy is. So I'm not going to call you out, Michael, but some of you guys, I know this. You're like, hey, Ari, so it turns out, my numbers don't look like yours. I go, did you skip to the software? Did you watch the videos? And a lot of you guys will skip right to the software, and I don't blame you. You get excited. Okay. I'd probably do the same. BC, would like to see a moderator that can verify the information being provided by community members. I agree, BC. I think I could not agree more. And I think they shouldn't be paid. No, of course they need to be paid. We all need to be paid. That's how we get to do what we do. So this is a perfect example of someone that I want in there, but I need to make sure it's like financially available for all of us. Rhonda, sharing of Excel templates that others use with the software. Yeah, Rhonda, I don't know how many templates. Lucas, I don't even know how many we have. But like, look, we can't just share 100 templates because you'd get lost, overwhelmed. So Reboss must be so confused because he's late to the party. But don't worry, Reboss, you can go back to the beginning of this and you'll catch up. Jake, I can verify what Ari is saying about using this type of software as both a user of several packages and a software developer. Whoa, Jake YT7, that's quite the praise there. So I appreciate that. So guys, it sounds so far like the number one thing, I don't know the best way to ask this, but the number one thing I think is going to be just the fact that you guys can all communicate with each other and learn from one another. From there, the additional exclusive content, we're not going to stop YouTube. So if you just want the free content there, stay there. If you're like, no, we just like what you guys are doing, and we're going to want to see, like, guys, it's the same way we bill with clients. We do monthly billing because the impetus is on us to provide value in excess of that fee. Now, we really do that because when my parents were with Wells Fargo, after 1 year, they wanted out. They were told you can't be out. And that doesn't make any sense. You should be paying someone when you're over the moon to do it. So with us, like, you guys could join, pay $20 and bail. Like, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. And like, I wouldn't know. It puts the impetus on us. We have to do a good enough job of making this a community and making this a spot where the content is so entertaining that you're like, yeah, so like I've got, Queen's Gambit. I know that show's old, okay, but I've got Queen's Gambit on Fridays, Great British Bake Off on blah, blah, blah. And then like every Monday I get the trivia show and then the this and then this. We'll probably have somewhere from 3 to 5 shows. It'll take us some time, but we want to develop that in a way where you're like, well, this is like, I wouldn't want to miss this. And that's my goal. So that is literally what I wanted to go over today in terms of timing. So when you're at a company, when we were smaller, I could have done this quicker, but this is life. And as we grow, that's how the world works. So we are waiting on some compliance things to get cleared. No, this will not eliminate the YouTube content. We're going to continue that. This is only additional content. So what this is going to be, Janice, that's what I like to see, guys. I need some more Janice vibes. Thanks. I can't wait to join. I'll gladly pay for that. Thank you for doing this. Michael, I like what you're doing with. And guys, once again, we're relying on you. Like, I'm going to be the one spearheading this. And so you can email me and be like, Ari, you know what? I know you think the show was great and all that, but like kind of sucked. Okay, great. Like, let me know. Why did it suck? Like, I would want to know to that degree. Others of you can be like, hey, why are you paying any of this? And then Kent becomes our top leader. He's the number one in the leaderboard. So basically, a few questions coming in. Okay, Sergio, make sure to watch the videos because I explain all of that. And so more like there's a lot of questions that come in. Perfect example from you, Sergio, where there are things that can not be shifted because you're not an advisor. And then I give you a workaround to fix it if you watch the videos. So perfect example, Sergio, not picking on you. Even though it might feel like in 3rd grade when the teacher's like, answer the question, Sergio. And it can be moved around. So with that being said, the timing, it's January 17th. I wanted this to be launched by Monday. That's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be next Friday, if not the following Monday, if I had to guess. And we will send an email. If you are not on my email list or don't know, I know David's like, oh no, compliance, 47 years. You should have a section in there where individual members can share analysis of any stock picks they're personally making. Steve, I don't know if I like that one. And I'll be honest with you right now, just because I don't want like stock picking. Like I almost feel like that's more of like a Reddit forum where it's like, hey, you want to go talk about your best stock picks? Like you could totally go there and do that. Like there's not an issue with that. I just don't love the idea of like, it's just not the root vibe. So like we'll talk, and Steve, I could be wrong. And there's tons of people that have interest in this. So like, if you're looking for a spot to do that, like there's so many places you could go online right now. Steve, you're working with Chelsea. Chelsea, perfect example. Steve, I'd want Chelsea to tell you about all of her travel. I'd want Steve, you to come on. Steve, you're actually like a perfect example of Steve. I won't tell the whole story, but Steve, basically we corresponded via Loom. And Steve, I got your transparent feedback from Chelsea regarding the tax and the charitable stuff and all that. So like that helped me. So thank you. But basically, Steve is one of our clients, and Steve was not working with an advisor. I don't think you were. I think you're Vanguard. Anyways, a few people reach out. So sorry, Steve, if I'm getting you mixed up. But a lot of people reach out and they're like, look, I don't know if there's enough value. It depends where I'm at and my stage of life and this and that. Great, Steve, come in and talk with Chelsea to everyone is saying like, look, guys, I didn't think I need an advisor. Here's when it helped. And I'm really glad. Steve might go in and be like, guys, I'm really glad I did not hire an advisor until now. Because it turns out like this is where the value lies. And I felt for 10 years I should have had an advisor and like didn't really need one. And now it makes all the difference. I'm all about timing. I think that's all of this stuff. So Patrice, hey Patrice, Patrice booked. Patrice, you're a good example. So Patrice booked a power call with me, which is that $10,000 call where and it's unavailable. I'm not doing it anymore. It's $10,000 with me for 2 hours. And I just give you like, hey, here's the recommendations. Like we don't have time to chit chat kind of a thing. And for a lot of people that are in their 40s, and they've got a ton of stock options. Like, what do I do? It's just like, hit me with the answer. So I just went boom, boom, boom. So Patrice booked a call. And then I was like, hey, Patrice, I reviewed all your stuff. I did all the work. I spent 6 hours. You get a full refund, and I don't think I can help. And she's like, I'm kind of confused. And I said, here's where you should go. Work with this person over here. I can't help. And they're like, yeah, but you already worked. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, don't worry about it because it's not worth it. So like, I will tell people when not to do this. Patrice goes, would love to have a section for people that have transitioned to their, yeah, that's Patrice. That's why I want to do it, for what you said right there. Vince, this has a lot of value. There are a few money sites that offer similar materials, okay? But it's not moderated by a company. It is moderated with millionaires that have achieved financial independence. Yeah, Vince, perfect example. I think there's a lot of value, but we want to, it's going to take us time and to do this together. Pruth is excited to join. What's up, Pruth? I know you were speaking to Jay earlier this week or maybe last week, and Katie. And so like a lot of you guys in here right now are like, yep, I'm with Root in some capacity. One thing I would like to have in there is a link to other companies that might be using with clients. Sorry, let me read that again. One thing I'd like to have in there is a link to other companies that might be, for example, access to the company that you interview with in the past to help you with insurance. Yeah. So, N Rivera, good one. So basically, like, whether I want to take this to the next level though. So like right now I'll be like, hey, Move Health, come in here and we're going to talk about insurance. I would want to do that same thing, but I want to go way deeper and show you guys how we do it, then give you access to that unique software that I use to do it. And then I'd want to go come on the line and ask questions right now. So you don't have to call an 1-800 number and wait an hour. And let's do a case study. And like, I'd want that to be like a live TV show, which, I mean, I'm sure they exist, like Dave Ramsey's call-in radio show and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of that, but different. Vince, those sites charge up to $400 a year, $20 a month is not bad, moderated. Yeah, like I want it, it's going to have the Root stamp on it. So like we want, our whole mission is like, I want James to come in here and tell you guys about how to get the most out of life, like health, wellness, faith. What are the, like, really, how do we go beyond the stock tips? So that's not me beating on you up here, whoever asked that question. So Lucas, sorry, any questions or thoughts you see coming through here?
Yeah, a lot of people are referencing, what's available on Seeking Alpha or what they can go write on Reddit with other people. It's like the whole point is to go beyond that and to go a little deeper. And that's why you think we'll be getting, when we talk about Move Health, people say, oh, well, I have this situation here. We will actually show you what calculates your Social Security benefit. We'll actually show you like what goes into whatever subject we're using that week, just for an example. This is where you can go deeper. This is what I ran into, early this year before I got hired. I was like, I'm running out of places to go because I want to go deeper, and I've exhausted every single resource possible, and I have to go read tax code or I have to go read prospectuses. That's the only place I can find to go deeper. And this is a gateway for that, for all of you guys, whether you're applying it to yourself or you're going to need it someday.
Yeah, love that. Lucas, like I'd want you, because Lucas has such good insight on the process of getting hired by a company. Like I could see a section in here of like Root hiring where Lucas is going in and someone is wondering about where do I start in the industry or a career changer. And Lucas is like giving guidance to future Root hires. And like this has the capacity to be much bigger than just, hey, I want to retire and pick, VTI. Like I want this to be, yeah, I'm going to go in there, guys, and do, hey, here's the tax strategy that here's how I create content. Watch me do it with you. Hey, let's use you. And then when a YouTube video gets announced later, you're like, hey, I was the one that like created that. So you will be a part of this. Yes, John C, I won't say your last name, but I know it. Walking the community through how to go through quarterly reviews each quarter, self-serve. Great idea. John, I have an idea right now for what I want. I want to bring on, I have one advisor that does a great job of this because he self-manages his money. And he's like, here's what I do every quarter for myself. I don't want you to have his checklist. I don't want him to show you what he does with the software. I would want, John, you to come on live, me to bring on my advisor and be like, hey, do it like this quarter for John. You all get to watch it happen. So I get to pick, like I have advisors that specifically work with certain people. So yeah, Patrice, excited to dig deeper when it comes out and meet a lot of interesting people. Yeah. So those of you like Patrice, I love that. Laura and Shane, guys, I love you guys. Yeah, that's what I would want to see. I want you to connect with each other. If you're like, no, I'm just looking for a stock tip or something, which is not most of you, great. Like don't go pay this. Like you're going to not like me. I'll say on my YouTube video, like, and Rhonda loves your suggestion, John. I'll go in my videos and be like, hey, please subscribe if you like tax, estate, healthcare, withdrawal, investing. If you don't like those things, don't subscribe. You're going to hate me because like I do not talk about like the other than that. I'm a self-planner. I'm in Academy. Right Capital has been the perfect complement. Yeah, so this is like for you. I'm like, I want this to go one step deeper, and it's on us to get it right. So, guys, that is what I wanted to go over. If you're not on the email list, because this is how we're gonna announce it, I'll mention it on videos, but like I do record a lot of videos in advance, so I think I probably have videos out for the next 2-3 weeks. So it'll be out before that. Great idea, Ari, about the content creation part. I would love to do something like what you do for the Spanish-speaking community. Ready for this? This is how my brain works. And Lucas, boom. And Rivera, you come in here, and now part of the community is root, whatever we want to call it, and you are running the same thing where you're like, hey, I don't know. You're running it because I don't speak Spanish. You're running it. Literally, I would have a chat with you and Rivera and be like, I like you. You're the vibe. I can feel it, which is how I live my life. Now you come in here, and then James does all the competency tests. So then, and Rivera, you come in. I'm like, yep, I can tell you'd be great at this. Now you're hosting a Spanish show in the root community, and that happened like that. Like it could be that quick where if you guys have an idea, I'm like, and Rivera, I imagine, I can't tell you how many friends I imagine you have. They're like, look, I'm trying to get them into a Roth IRA, but like they know they need it, but it's like, who cares? I'm going to go out and have, whatever, food or what, like bad example. But my point here is, yeah, Janice, we can help each other. And my idea was like, if we could do it in an entertaining way, like I'll tell you the way I do it with kids. With kids, if I do a child of a client, first I'll do my stupid jokes. And then I'll be like, look, here's why investing is cool. And if you don't think what I'm about to tell you in 30 seconds is cool, then you should never invest. And so now they're like, never invest? Okay. And I'll be like, imagine you put $6,000 a year. Now I use a different number, but $6,000 a year for 30 years into this thing. We're not even going to call it a Roth. Just imagine you do that. They go, that's kind of a long time. I'm like, I know, we're probably going to be like dead by then, but just like humor me. And they're like, okay. I go, 6,000 a year for 30 years. What's that? And they're like, I'm like, let's get a calculator out, even if we can both do it. And then they're like, okay, so 6,000 a year, 30 years. It's a lot of money. It's like $180,000. Like, what the heck am I going to do with that? I'm like, look, you're probably not even going to need that. And they're like, okay. So now they're like curious, because if I just started going, here's the value of compound interest, they're like, so now 180,000 a year. I go, let's imagine, I don't know, just tell me a random number. And they're like, 74. I'm like, okay, tell me a different random number. And they're like 12. And I'm like, how about 10? And then they're like, okay, let's go with 10. And then I'll be like, imagine you got 10% growth. And then they're like, what's growth? I'm doing this with like 10-year-olds. Sometimes I'll do this even with 20-year-olds, but I'll shift the way I do it. And then they'll be like, okay. And then basically the whole summary is I eventually go, look, you put in 180,000. You have $1 million after 30 years. And they're like, I put in 180. I have $1 million. Like, that doesn't make sense. I go, you're right. It doesn't make sense. Maybe I did something wrong. And then they're like, that makes sense. Like, also, everyone loves proving someone wrong. When like the teacher writes something on the board and it's wrong, they're like, I gotcha. So like, I want them to get me. And then I'll be like, maybe I'm wrong. Let's look together. And then I'll bring up like a time value of money calculator online so they can like, and then I make them input it. So now it's not me telling them anything. So they go put it in and they're like, whoa, so I would have 1.1. So like the rest of that, like 820, like that's all just growth of the money. Like, how did that occur? And then I'm like, I think it's that new Shen Yu guy, that magic guy in Vegas. And then we're making jokes. And the whole time I'm keeping them engaged, because you lose them for 1 second, they're like, I hate investing. And to me, it's a big responsibility because this is the rest of their life. And that's the example someone did with me. And then I'm like, I'm Rothing it up every year for the rest of my life. And so like, you got to get people into it. And so that same dopey story I'll do with people about to retire. And they'll be like, we got to do conversions and help them with the guardrails and the software. I'm like, I'm not going to let you do any of that. And they're like, what do you mean? You're so excited about it. I'm like, I'm going to need you to try to spend as much money as humanly possible this year. They're like, that's scary because I don't have any more paychecks. So what are you just trying to give me anxiety? I'm like, no, I want you to try, because if it turns out this year, you said you want to spend 10,000 a month and you spend 12 every month and you love it, that's telling. And that shifts the whole strategy. If it turns out you only want to spend 4,000 a month because whatever reason, great, that's telling. So we want this to be a really interesting way for all of you to look at finances differently. So one of you said here, I liked one of your comments here. You guys see, like Patrice, you and Jake are going back and forth. you're doing it through this like YouTube chat feature. It's not, I'd want you guys to be able to go talk and email, and like, don't put your emails publicly here, because then, you'll get bombarded. But I'd want you guys to be able to talk. So with that being said, there's something in here, Lucas. Oh, someone said something like, I can help with the academy. What software are you using, or something like?
Yeah, someone said, let me put on my IT hat. What are you using to run the show
okay.
that hosts it? Yeah.
So we're going to start. Excuse me, I should get so choked up about this. No, we're going to start with Kajabi. And Kajabi is where I host the course, because it was just, I had someone set it up easily. Now that's where we're going to start. Now, I would love in a dream world for all of you guys to have like custom badges by your name, and have them be like coded to different things. And like, it's not the best platform, but it's the easiest to set up. What if 10 people join and everyone else hates it? Okay, good thing we didn't spend $100,000 building our own thing. What if Jake YT7's like, Ari, I can build it for you, this new thing. Great, like, be my guest. I'd want your help. So we want this to be something we're testing, and it depends. Like, we are running, obviously, it's like, when you run a business and you're like, I'm going to make a cupcake business. And oh my God, imagine we sell 100 cupcakes every minute for the next, whatever. And then what if time changes and there's now 100 minutes in an hour, and this and this and this. And then you're like, I think I made $12 million in the last 6 seconds. Like, people will do that. And then I'm just laughing. And I'm like, we think there could be 10, 15,000 of you guys in here, in which case, like, if it's at that scale, I'm like, well, we would just drop the price, because like, well, first we need to make sure financially, I'm having members of our team that you guys do not know, who you will meet, working on this right now. We're paying for landing pages. So like, first we need to make sure that this is a win-win for everyone. And then down the line, if we're putting more time in, we can decrease, we can increase, we can make, I want to have, I think I told you guys this, but there's this company. Have I told you, Lucas, about Parents Are Human? Did I tell you about them?
I don't think so. That does sound familiar though.
Okay. So basically this company, this is a perfect example of like, so here's a company I really like. They have these cards. I have a bunch right here. They sent me these. I get sent a lot of weird stuff. I'll show you guys all the weird stuff I get sent later, but I get sent some cool stuff. And this is cool. I know let me stop sharing for a second. So like, this is Partners Are Human. They gave me, I just dropped so many things I can't tell you. Siblings Are Human. It's like, how do you communicate with friends and family and loved ones? And how do you grieve if someone, I know you want cupcakes. How do you grieve if someone, pass, I don't know. There's a gazillion different cards here. And so this company was talking to me about this, and I was like, I think it's a great idea. I think like, in the same way it's hard to talk to your parents about money, like, I did these cards with my dad, and I'm like, I feel like I could not be on planet Earth without doing this now. Like, my dad and I are closer than we've ever been because of this a year ago. So they have all these things, and they sell these cards for $20. But if you keep going to the bottom here, they have these digital decks. So I have the cards, but for digital decks, look at this, pay what you can. You don't think I would love that? I would love to do a pay what you can. And I spoke to the founder guys, just so you know, they believe that they make more money doing the pay what you can, because people go and be like, oh my gosh, like, no, I add way. So like, here it is now. Buy 2, get 1 free, $40. So like this, if you want the cards, it's a good gift, support the company. I'd love to have a pay what you want section. The problem is now is like, we do it now and everyone goes zero, which I doubt would be the case. But like, we want this to be something that we get to do and everyone wins. So basically that was the example. So these cards are really cool. And I will tell clients like, look, these are cards that go like, let this be that. I don't know how many of you guys are like, I have no concern at all looking at speaking to my parents about money, but like, it was hard for me. So this really helped. So Patrice, flight taken off. Have a good flight. We'll watch the rest on the recording. Eager to join. That's what I like to hear. Hoy, you guys are talking and I'm out of the loop. Jake, I like your approach to the site tools. I was just curious. Oh yeah, just Kajabi, but if you have something better, let me know. There's some community template software available, Hoy. Yeah, that's what we're going off of. This is a community template that we're customizing, but we want to make this better. Love your idea of dedicated topics. So many possible focus topics such as blah, 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 blah. Not sure if in scope, 100% in scope. All of that, John. That is more than in scope. That is like this scope, which is the same as in scope. I'm just being stupid here. Here we go. Finally, I went to Costa Rica and stayed off the grid in a place with no roads or electricity. Had to take a boat. The home had solar power. We were right on the water. Any thoughts, Lucas?
I was staying in an all-inclusive resort, so I'm not sure we had the same experience, but I could see the islands where you might have been staying at. So sounds like a great time. That's the next trip. The next trip, we were like, let's go stay near the volcano in like the rainforest, not on the beach for half the time. So
Are you scared of bugs or no?
I live in Florida. Ari, you missed that part.
Oh, I did miss that part.
Go on.
Bugs are like, dude, mosquitoes eat me a lot. I went to Indonesia and I was in one of those tents and still got eaten alive. And oh my God, like bugs are just, what's the difference between Florida and Costa Rica from a bugs perspective?
I would say bugs probably
Yeah.
the same. It wasn't bad, to be completely honest. Now, as far as like random animals, there was way more in Costa Rica. Just like raccoons and stray dogs and lizards and all that kind of thing. It's kind of like Miami, I would say.
Whoa, gnarly. Okay, so I want to hear more. And guys, a part of this is like the obviously my brain, as you guys can tell, is going in a few different directions because as you guys are typing, I have like 5 more ideas. And that's literally what I'm supposed to do is like coming up with this community idea. I'm like, I think there's something that could change the game. So in case I keep losing my train of thought, I just get excited. My brain does that. As you all know. Rob, I'm late to the live, just catching up, but I heard the question about having a pension. As someone who has a pension, I'm 100% stock saying we'll be 100% retirement. Super reasonable. The sand flies are worse. I've never even heard of sand flies. Have you heard of those?
I think he's saying sand fleas, but I know
Okay.
sand flies could be something as well. There's these islands near in Florida where I live off the intercoastal. They're like dredged islands, and we've gone camping on them a bunch of times. And I think that might be what he's talking about. They're these little bugs, we call them no-see-ums as well, and they like bite you, and you cannot see them, and they're super tiny. But
Oh, they're
yeah,
like my height.
it was not bad. It was not bad.
Oh, okay. Laura, Shane, have to tell you, Ari, on our flight to New Zealand, our pilot announced that the flight is very full. And Shane and I looked at each other and LOL. You guys are all going to do this for the rest of your life. I still do it. Laura, Shane, they're like, yeah, we have a very full flight today. And then every time I look at it, and then if we laugh, my brother and I will be like, whoever laughs louder has to do the clapping when the plane lands, but really loud. And so, like, it's just funny. When I finish my island home in Roatan, Honduras, you can come up to dive there, Lucas. One of the top destinations for diving. Are you a big diver, Lucas?
No, I have some friends that go to Honduras that live in my neighborhood that go diving. So
Go with them.
I have been diving in the Keys multiple
Okay.
times. We'll be going hopefully
So,
next year.
En Rivera will have the new show, Speaking Spanish in the Community, hosted in Roatan, Honduras, underwater. You see how, guys, this works? Okay. The first underwater live show. Does Costa Rica have the skunk ape? Do you know?
I went on vacation. I'm not their
I don't know either.
ambassador.
I know. I don't know either. But I'm David. I know we spoke a while ago. I'm putting this into my AI. I just want to see what it has to say, guys. So I'm doing this with you. No, Costa Rica does not have the skunk ape. That's actually a legendary creature specifically associated with Florida. The skunk ape, also sometimes called the Florida Bigfoot, is reportedly primarily in Florida swamps and Everglades. How many of you guys knew that? That's right. Okay. See, this is where AI is so cool because immediately Google could have done that as well. But anyways, guys, I've kept you long. This is what I wanted to do on this is kind of announce that we're doing this. We are going to be relying on your feedback. We're going to be surveying you. We will not come to your house to do the surveys, but we will be sending you emails going, hey, what do you like? What do you not like? We're going to try to make it really cool and special. And hopefully this thing grows and you guys get to meet new cool people. And that's the idea. So, Lucas, anything else you want to leave the people with?
No, drop any ideas you guys have in the chat. Like I'm having ideas on here. Have one of my friends on. What is it like to be friends with a financial advisor?
Good one.
Personal. I love a lot of like personal finance, like psychology, and like how do you manage, your spending? What works for you? What helps you, manage your budget? How much are you investing this year? So we can do like year end wrap ups. What was your goal? What did you hit? All kinds of things. So tons of ideas, guys. Drop them down in the comments, and we will take them into account as we're building everything out. Anything you want to see, shoot us an email. They're already listed in the chat earlier. That's all I've got.
Thanks, guys. One thing, because a lot of you are not connected, but connect with Lucas and I on LinkedIn. We're going to be more active. Lucas, if you can throw yours on there. One person was like, hey, are you guys on LinkedIn? And I'll tell you why. So this, I just put a post out today. This, I'm no inspiration, motivation person, but this is a post I put out an hour ago. I said, hey, it's been 4 years since I started the podcast. I talk about why. And I go in and I talk about my brothers and my mom, but basically here's what I wanted to show. This is the most recent graph of my podcast. And as you can see, for the first 2 years, I talked to myself, and that's all that was happening. And then it grew. And everyone says it's because of discipline, and it's not. Discipline sounds like, you can see, I go, I'm not disciplined. I'm not. I love doing it. People used to go, oh, you're so disciplined and you work out. And I go, I'm not disciplined. I like the feeling. I'm doing it because I like doing it. So I've always been confused by discipline because I guess I am, but I really don't think I am. I'm never like I'm not disciplined. I just love doing this. So I do this whether 10 of you guys were here or 10 million of you guys were here, and I'm going to keep doing it. And my style will not change. And some of the comments that I receive are, hey, Ari, I don't like your jokes. I don't appreciate your style. Guys, that's cool. I'm not for everyone. Others of you are like, no, I really resonate with this, and it feels different because finance people don't normally talk like how you talk because we're just chatting. So with that being said, just connect with us on LinkedIn. The other request I have, if you guys do not mind, on iTunes, if you can leave reviews, that is the best way for the podcast to grow. So YouTube, the comments are awesome. But if you can go, and you can do this on the Ready for Retirement podcast, you can do it on the Early Retirement. You could do it on both if you really love us. Jake says you have to both believe in what you are doing and have the discipline to do it, Ari. Yeah, Jake, I believe you. So I do understand the discipline kind of word. I want to just be honest and be like, look, I just love doing this. And there's other things, like I'm supposed to drink more water. Everyone says drink more water. I'm just bad at it. I'm not disciplined at every hour I'm going to drink water, go to the bathroom. I know I should, but when I love stuff, I'm like, I just love it and I go for it. So if we've helped you in any way, Mike, John, Jake, if you can leave reviews on, this is only if you have an iPhone. Spotify, I know they don't allow it, but thank you for putting those in there. So leave us reviews. You guys are transparent. Some reviews, and I like these, whether you're like, I really prefer James's style because it's just kind of straighter and I resonate with that. Others of you are like, I like your style. Others of you go, I love both of you. You're just different. Let us know. This is how we get to make the content we make, and we're going to keep doing it. So I appreciate all of you guys. We will let you go and have a great weekend, and I'll be in touch. Did we answer the question, Lucas, on if someone doesn't, if they're not on our email list, what do we do?
Yep, I dropped the link to the website. Just go on our website, scroll to the bottom. There's a link right there.
Okay. Is that the easiest way? I should tell people if that's the easiest way. So you go to the website. Let me look. I just want to see it myself. I believe you. So you go to the website and you go to the bottom. Oh, yeah. That's super. If you come this far, subscribe for updates, then you're in. That's the easiest way. And then you should be on. I just want to make sure. We were with ConvertKit for all of who are software people. And then we moved to HubSpot. And when I send emails out, I should make sure I click that. Okay. Yeah, I know where to do that one. Idea, a moderated section with files that are submitted by users with a moderated set with files. Oh, so you could submit a statement and then I could review the statement. That'd be super cool. Love that idea.